Some of the cruelest people you'll ever meet won't look cruel. They won't walk into a room looking like a villain. They might smile, make jokes, shake your hand, and even convince everyone around them that they're wonderful. The frightening part is what happens when they realize you are vulnerable. Because cruelty isn't simply anger. It isn't having a bad day. And it certainly isn't being cold or introverted. True cruelty is a pattern of deliberately causing pain, exploiting weakness, and eventually becoming comfortable with the suffering of another person. And once you know what to look for, certain behaviors become impossible to unsee. The first sign is disturbingly simple. They enjoy your pain. There is a massive difference between someone accidentally hurting you and someone noticing that you're hurting and becoming entertained by it. A cruel person may smile when you become uncomfortable, make jokes about something deeply painful, or deliberately push the same emotional button just to watch your reaction. Sometimes they'll disguise it as humor. Relax, I'm only joking. But pay attention to what happens when you tell them they've gone too far. A decent person usually cares that they hurt you. A cruel person may become even more amused that they discovered a button they can press. And that leads to something even more revealing. They study your weaknesses. They remember the insecurity you mentioned 6 months ago. They remember the relationship that broke you. They remember what you're afraid of, what makes you feel inadequate, and what you desperately want other people to respect. Most people remember personal information because they care about you. A cruel person may remember it because information is power. And when the relationship turns against you, suddenly the things you trusted them with become ammunition. This is where the behavior becomes genuinely disturbing. Because they aren't simply reacting emotionally, they're using information they deliberately collected about you to produce a specific emotional reaction. If someone has ever made you think, how did they know exactly what would hurt me? Pay attention. And here's where many people make a mistake. They assume cruelty always looks aggressive. It doesn't. Sometimes cruelty looks incredibly calm. Imagine a woman named Maya who had a close friend named Lena. They had known each other for years. Maya trusted Lena with almost everything. Her insecurities, family problems, career frustrations, even the private fear that she wasn't good enough. Then Maya finally started succeeding. Instead of celebrating, Lena became subtly different. The compliments became insults disguised as jokes. The encouragement became criticism. And whenever Maya mentioned something she was proud of, Lena somehow found a way to make her feel foolish for being proud. Maya initially ignored it. Then one evening, during an argument, Lena repeated something Maya had confessed years earlier. When she was at her lowest point, she didn't say it accidentally. She said it with a smile. That was the moment Maya understood something painful. The person she thought was protecting her vulnerability had been storing it. That brings us to another major warning sign. They punish boundaries. Tell a healthy person no, and they might be disappointed. Tell a cruel person no, and suddenly you discover how they respond when they can't control you. They may guilt trip you, humiliate you, give you the silent treatment, spread rumors, threaten to withdraw affection, or deliberately create consequences, simply because you refuse to give them what they wanted. That's important because boundaries reveal character. Anyone can behave beautifully while they're getting everything they want. The real test is what happens when you say no. And if you enjoy this kind of psychological rabbit hole, you might as well subscribe. It's free, your phone won't explode, and I promise the algorithm already knows you're procrastinating anyway. Another disturbing sign is that they rarely accept responsibility. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody has moments they're ashamed of. But a cruel person can hurt someone and immediately construct a justification for it. You made me do it. They deserved it. They're too sensitive. I was just teaching them a lesson. Notice what's missing: remorse. Because remorse requires recognizing that another person's pain matters even when you had the power to cause it. A cruel person may understand that you're hurt perfectly well. The problem is that your suffering doesn't necessarily matter to them. And sometimes they go even further. They manipulate your compassion. This is one of the easiest ways for cruelty to hide, because empathetic people often assume everyone has a wounded heart underneath their behavior. So they keep forgiving. The cruel person learns this. They discover that if they cry, apologize dramatically, reveal a tragic story, or promise to change, you'll give them another chance. Then the cycle begins again. Hurt, apology, forgiveness. Hurt, apology, forgiveness. Eventually, the apology isn't evidence of change. It's simply part of the strategy. And there's another pattern worth watching. They need someone beneath them. They feel powerful when somebody else feels small. They embarrass people in front of others. They mock someone's appearance. They interrupt them. They expose private information. They enjoy watching confidence disappear from someone's face. This is why cruelty can sometimes look like confidence. But genuine confidence doesn't require victims. A secure person doesn't need to humiliate someone else to feel tall. Someone who constantly needs another person. Beneath them may be revealing just how dependent their self-worth is on dominance. If you're still watching, congratulations. You've officially entered the part of the video where your childhood friend, ex-coworker, and that one suspicious guy at the neighborhood meeting are all suddenly under investigation. Don't panic. We're not issuing arrests today, just psychology. But the darkest sign is perhaps the simplest. They don't merely want to win. They want you to suffer. There is a difference between defeating someone and wanting to destroy their confidence afterward. A competitive person wants the victory. A cruel person may want the humiliation. They don't just want to leave the argument right. They want you questioning yourself for days. They want you isolated. They want you begging for approval. They want you to feel the same powerlessness they felt, or simply enjoy having power over you. And this is why one incident isn't enough to label someone cruel. People lose their temper. People say terrible things. People make selfish decisions. The real warning is the pattern. Do they repeatedly exploit weakness? Do they repeatedly violate boundaries? Do they repeatedly cause pain and then blame the victim? Do they repeatedly show little remorse? And most importantly, do they seem to become more comfortable with cruelty over time? Because behavior reveals character far more reliably than appearances. Pay attention to how someone treats people who cannot benefit them. Watch how they behave when nobody important is watching. Watch how they respond when they have power. Watch what happens when they are told no. And watch whether their apologies are followed by change. Because someone can say all the right words, but patterns don't lie nearly as easily. And perhaps the most important lesson is this. You don't need to prove that someone is evil before protecting yourself from them. You don't need a psychological diagnosis. You don't need a courtroom confession. And you certainly don't need to wait until someone destroys your life before admitting that their behavior is dangerous. Sometimes the healthiest thing you can do is stop asking, why are they like this? And start asking, why am I allowing this pattern to continue? Because understanding human nature isn't about becoming paranoid. It's about becoming observant. And if this video just helped you recognize a pattern you've been ignoring, subscribe. Your future self might appreciate having fewer emotionally unstable side characters in the next season of your life. Remember, cruel people don't always announce themselves. Sometimes they arrive as friends, sometimes as lovers, sometimes as mentors, and sometimes as the person everyone else describes as such a nice person. That's why you shouldn't judge character by charm. Judge it by patterns. Judge it by how they respond to your boundaries. Judge it by what they do with the weaknesses you trusted them with. And above all, judge it by what happens when they finally have the power to hurt you. Because character isn't revealed when someone has nothing to gain. It's revealed when they have the power to cause pain and choose what to do with it. That choice tells you more about a person than their smile ever could.